Hi everyone, it's Yvonne here from Share It Forward. Welcome back, and if you're new here, hello, I'd love you to join us. One of my lovely viewers has asked for me to jot down, or to talk through some of my hints and tips or things that I consider when buying in the sales. And it's such a good question because we're bombarded with emails, offers, things like that, even in store when you go in. So it's about thinking then what you really need. So what I've done is I've noted down 10 key things really that I think about when I'm buying something in the sales. And I hope they work for me, and I hope they work for you. And I'm combining this with a bit of a review that I was going to do, and I think that meshes really well with my viewers' requests really, because what I'll do, I'm going to canter through the 10 things that I've noted down, and then I'll share a video, and it's a bit of a review of the things I've worn and shared with you since starting my channel late April this year. So it's going from spring, summer, through to autumn and through to winter. And I think that meshes well with this really, because it gives you an idea to think about things, have a look at different fashion styles, for example, and then have a look at your own wardrobe. So as I say, what I'll do is have a canter through first of all, show you the video, and then come back. So let's start with those 10 key things. So first of all, I think it's really good, and what I think is, I always like to think of it as an opportunity, and the sales can provide quite a good opportunity to refresh things in your wardrobe. So if you think of it like that, it's an opportunity rather than a chore, if that makes sense. So thinking about the first thing then, number one, what are the gaps in your wardrobe? So have a little look through. You may have already realised, are you looking for a new blouse? Are you looking for a sweater? Are you looking to change something? So having a look at what you have and what needs to be replaced, any gaps, is really important. And I think that leads me on to point number two. What needs to be replaced? So do you have things that are old, perhaps need to be donated if they're still good enough to be donated? If not, then recycle. Or also, do you need to then think about repairing if you really like something? I think I shared with you in my shoe and trouser outfit combination, I'd had some of my shoes reheeled. So it's an opportunity to have a look and see if the things that are still good but still need a bit of a freshen up to keep them looking as good as you would like them. So have a look through, and as I say, if you haven't worn anything for, the old adage is 12 months, but perhaps think of that maybe a little bit longer. If you've not worn something for 18 months, then think about if it's not a special item. So if it's a special item, you'll want to keep that. And I've had some things in my wardrobe. One thing I've had for many, many moons, and I still wear it. In fact, I've worn it in one of my videos. So, it's thinking about that in hindsight. What I like to do actually when I do that is I go through the wardrobe once and I take out all the things that I think, I've not worn that anymore, and I don't think I'm going to. Pop that to one side and then go away, and then I do it again a week later, and that's so helpful because things that you then hesitated about, going back after you've had that initial clear out, going back that week later, you then think to yourself, no, actually, I'm not going to wear that blouse anymore, for example. I need to donate that and move on. So it's really good to do it over a week or so. I find so anyway, so that's my tip to you. Thinking about as well, number 3 is about what you wear most. So for example, if you wear sweaters a lot, then it's an opportunity to either add to or replace. When doing that, think about what you have there and how things will then work with your wardrobe. So, you know, if you wear sweaters a lot, if you wear blouses a lot, or if you're, you know, t-shirt, it's an ideal time to look to go to your most worn items. That is the point here. So going to things that you wear the vast majority of the time and spending your money there is good value for money. Number 4 is another opportunity, and it's an opportunity to refresh your look. So if you've seen my first summer haul, you'll notice I came out of a bit of my comfort zone in that I bought a play suit. And if you've seen other hauls after that, you'll know I bought quite a few others as well. And that was such a different style for me. I'd never thought about it. I saw it on the model online, and obviously they're all gorgeous, aren't they? So you then think, oh, how am I going to look in that? How am I going to wear it? So I took a chance, and for me it was a good chance. So, you know, think about things, and maybe when I show the video at the end and you have a little run through of the things that I've worn, bear that point in mind. You know, think about things that are not generally you. And I'm not saying to go off, you know, into something completely different, but trying something a little bit different can really refresh you. And it can be so exciting and invigorating, and you feel it, I don't know, as though it's just that little bit more of a refresh for you. So number 4, consider refreshing your look. Number 5 is something that I've invested in quite a bit this year, and it's considering your accessories. So your belts, you'll know yours truly. If you've seen any of my videos, in fact I did one video purely on belts alone. And so, you know, thinking about the accessories, and that could come into the previous one as well, you know, about refreshing your look. You know, if you're not generally a belt wearer, think about it, because they can really transform whatever you're wearing. Either a simple outfit like this, I've simply got trousers on from H&M, a simple sweater, but tucking the sweater into my trousers and adding a little belt just pulls the look together and makes it a little bit more sharp and a little bit, in my view, a little bit more chic. So your accessories, belts are an important one for me. I really like belts. Scarves are a good investment, you know, thinking about perhaps buying something that's a little bit better quality, because a sale opportunity can bring the price down of a really nice wool scarf to something that ordinarily you would pay for just an ordinary scarf. So, you know, scarves, hats, gloves, and handbags as well. You know, that can be something, having a look at your wardrobe, going back to the earlier point. You know, do you want to have a look at your handbags? And do you actually need to replace them? Are you looking to have, you know, a bigger tote bag, for example? So looking at what's missing, or maybe what needs to replace. Don't forget your accessories, they're an important part. You know, jewellery, for example, as well. That's something else that can really enhance your look. You know, one simple bangle, for example, can just add that little bit of something to a very simple outfit. So jewellery as well is quite a key thing to look for in your sales. Number 6 is about considering your investment pieces. So, you know, those big ticket items. So for example, coats, they're not cheap, but you know, in sale time that can bring the price point down. Boots, for example, are another one. You know, do you need to add to your boots, replace any boots that you have? So, you know, it's an ideal time to consider from your wardrobe, is there anything that you perhaps might need to change, replace, or add to those, what I call those big ticket items. Don't forget as well, number 7 is about your makeup essentials and your perfumes. yours truly, if you've seen any of my, I did one of my first videos, in fact, was an impromptu makeup video, and I shared with you in that my favourite makeup pieces, so the Dior primer, Dior foundation, Dior concealer. Sale time is a great time to look for those items. I certainly will be, that's for sure. And it's about then popping one to one side so that when you finish, for example, a foundation, you have one there, but you've been able to purchase something that you use regularly. So I use the Dior foundation, as you know, but whatever you use regularly, you can buy it. And when you've finished that one, you have one there and you've been able to buy it at a reduced price. Perfume is another one as well that can feature in the sales, and it's worthwhile thinking about your favourite signature perfume, for example. So if that comes on sale or there is an offer of so many percentage off, that can really bring a price point down because these things are not cheap. And so it's an opportunity to buy your favourite perfume. But it's also an opportunity as well to try something new. And I don't mean to, buy something online that you've never smelt before. But when you're in store, if you've heard about something that you think, yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that one. I've heard a lot about YSL Libre, for example. I think YSL Libre Intense was one I heard most of. So I'll be quite keen to look in store to see what that smells like, and if there's an offer, possibly might consider that. That's not something I've ever bought before. I bought YSL perfumes in the past, but I've not had Libre. So it's an opportunity, as I say, buy your signature perfume, I think is for me an opportunity. But if you've been gifted that over Christmas, then that's a really lucky thing. That's great. If Santa's been good to you, that's brilliant. But if not, then think about buying something for yourself. And if it's a good price point, then it brings that down considerably. But the opportunity to try something different, I think, is an exciting one. So number 7, don't forget your makeup essentials. Number 8, I talk about this quite a lot, and mostly when I do a clothing video and I talk about things that I've got to show you. And I talk about thinking about how those items will work in your wardrobe. So when you see that sweater, for example, if it's something, a bit different, something new for you, think about what you're going to wear it with. This is just a plain navy sweater, but I can wear this with a whole range of different things. Not just the navy, but I can wear them with camel, I can wear it with jeans, a whole range of different things. So whatever you're buying, think about how that will work in your wardrobe. If you're buying something that comes as an outfit, then you've got an outfit in itself. So for example, a dress is a one piece. So a dress is your go-to. You can just throw that on and you're good to go. But if you're buying separates, think about, and they can be a really good opportunity because, for example, buying a pair of trousers, you've got an opportunity pairing that with sweaters, t-shirts, shirts, blouses, a whole range of different things. And then layering it with sweater, cardigans over the top, jackets over the top. I think the point here is there's opportunities. So as I said to you at the beginning in sales, it's an opportunity to think about things. So thinking about number 8, thinking about how you will wear that, I think is really helpful. It's something I do anyway. And number 9, thinking about, you may have friends, families, friends who have birthdays coming up. And so it might be an opportunity, for example, if you see a perfume that they like and it's at a really good price, then it's an ideal time to think about those gifts that, you know, if you've got birthdays coming up quite soon, anniversaries, that kind of thing, it can be an ideal time to, you know, if you know that person, yes, I know my friend really loves that perfume, then it's an ideal time when that price point comes down, or some makeup, you know, they may be looking for, or talking about some eyeshadow or something that they really like, but ordinarily it could be a bit of a higher price point, but because of the sales, it's a great buy, and I'm sure it would be a great gift to them. So number 9, thinking about things, it's an opportunity to buy someone you love something wonderful. And number 10, last but most definitely not least, is check the returns policy. You know, before you buy it, you know, one of the good sales assistants will say to you, if you're in a store, oh, by the way, you know, for example, there's 14 days to return that. So it's an ideal time, if you haven't tried anything on in store, and you know, when you're dressed like I am, like Nanook of the North, then you've got several layers, and taking all that off and trying a dress on can be a step too far. And also as well, it's quite nice to bring something home to try it on, because that goes back to one of my earlier points of how that works with your wardrobe. So there's an added point to that, because you then have that time to consider. So whilst in store, for example, you go, wow, that's great, I really love that. And you get it home and you think, actually, that's a bit of a one-off. I'm not going to get as much use out of that as I would thought that I might do. And do you know what though? Sometimes that can be great. And I'll quote my husband here. He'll say to me sometimes, look, Yvonne, you don't need to do a business case for absolutely everything. And by that he means you don't have to have one piece that works with absolutely everything in your wardrobe. Sometimes a one-off can just be that wonderful item you think, yeah, that's absolutely great on its own. So number 10, last but not definitely not least, check the returns policy. Both, you know, as I say, in store, but also online as well. So check what they are. Are they free returns? Do you have to return them within a certain period? Think about that in terms of the delivery and how you may return it should you need to. So that's a canter through the 10 things that I consider certainly when I'm thinking about purchasing something in the sales and having a look in the sales as well. So I hope that's helpful. We'll do a run through next so that you can see a bit of a look back, but I think I like to think of it as a lookbook. So, you know, an idea of the things that I've worn over the year. A, may be a trigger for you, B, and for me, but also as well a lookbook then for going forward. How might I want to change those? How might they inspire you as well to look to refresh, as I say, that opportunity to refresh your wardrobe. So we'll go to the video and then I'll come back. Hi, I'm back again. I hope you found that video helpful, both in terms of the 10 key tips and the run through of the things I've worn during the year as well. I hope it provides an opportunity for you to think about things in the sales, have fun in it, downtime over the Christmas period. It can be an ideal time when you've got a bit of quiet time to maybe have a look online before the stores open, and that's something quite good as well, because you might see something online that you might want to check out in store. So let me know in the comments below if you managed to find that lovely gem that you never thought you would buy, but you did do. So do let me know as well. And the last thing I want to do is to say a big thank you to everyone who views the channel. It's been wonderful. I started this the end of April, I think it was. So I want to say thank you for viewing and thank you for subscribing. And last but most definitely not least is to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in 2023. Cheerio everybody, bye.